today's very special episode, we are going to tackle my friend slash customer Matt's car. It's a Dodge Charger. It's pretty cool. It's on bags. It's got wheels, but we're gonna make it a little bit cooler with a special Plasti dip job. So the style that we're gonna go for on this car is going to be splatter art. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I've done my Mustang in a splatter art job. Dip Your Car did one not that long ago. They said it was just not influenced by me at all, which is cool, but I don't know. I have my makeshift paint booth that I'll probably go over a little bit more at some point. We had this up when we did the Mustang, which that video will be up at some point, maybe before, maybe after this, I don't know, but there's going to be a video on that color. But anyway, we're leaving the booth up. Probably not going to run the full filter setup because the Charger is a bit wider than what my Mustang was, and I want to be able to get a full swing of splatter. But it is going to protect the walls a little bit, and because it has a canopy over it, we're not going to get any kind of like bugs or rust or anything getting in it. Step one is clean the car. So let's go clean the car. You can use pre-dip spray, which they sell on dipyourcar.com, but I use a mixture of denatured alcohol. It's about a 10-to-1 mix. Denatured alcohol is a little toxic, so be careful when you're using it and stuff. But we're gonna wipe the whole car down. It's a little dusty. So yeah, let's go. Wipe the car down a couple times with denatured alcohol. Now we're going to get to the taping and masking and all that stuff. It's going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt because of the grill and all that. There's a lot of good lines that you can kind of tape and just leave on a Charger. This is a good tape line right here. You're going to notice a little bit of dirt here and there. We're going to wipe the car down probably 3 more times after this. A lot of times you'll have rubber that touches different parts of the body on different cars, and I don't see a lot of that on the late model Charger, so that'll be nice. It just has rubber here, but we can tape that up. It'll be nice. And then on the doors, you don't have rubber directly touching until you get to this part of it. So, and we're also going to put a little bit of tape inside the door jambs just to keep the lines clean. Day number 2, and the Charger is completely taped up. We're going to use trash bags as wheel covers because they work pretty good, believe it or not. If you got some big, like 30-gallon ones. Charger eats up a lot of tape because of the grill area and stuff. You can't really paper that off. You just want to kind of tape it off. So we wiped it down a lot, used a lot of rags, and we have a bunch of colors lined up. Some of it's going to be spares, some of it's going to be new stuff. We got some cups over there that we're going to mix some pigments in. We got our clear that we're going to use for our pigment mixes, and we're going to do our white base first. A gallon of gunmetal just to cover everything up, make everything nice and uniform. Then we got 4 gallons of white. And we're also going to use our Titan cap spray, which is pretty awesome for Plasti dip. It's a 5-stage turbine, sprays pretty nice, atomizes dip very well. We could use a compressor setup. Recently I saw that they don't recommend using a compressor setup all of a sudden, but you can use a compressor setup for spraying dip. People have been doing it for years, but we're going to use the Titan. I'm going to clean the filters on this. It's a little dusty. We haven't Plasti dipped the car in a while. Our gun's seen better days too. I really should get a new cup, but it works. Like I said, it makes everything real nice and smooth. This gun's been through a lot. I've dipped a lot of cars with this gun. That's why it's so beat up and dirty. Usually I replace the cup every couple dips. These little brass things get loose on the cup, so sometimes it might leak there. I always get paranoid and put a little tampon on it. But let's get started. I'm probably not going to film a lot of that. You've already seen cars get sprayed, and I'm tired. And we're on a time crunch too. We have a lot of other stuff to do. I made a complete and total mess overnight and into this morning, but the car is done. All the white is down. Got about 4.5 to 5 gallons on the car total, so peelability should be pretty good on this car. But the white turned out really good. You can see that the Titan cap spray sprays everything pretty smooth. It's definitely the way to go. There's a little bit of residual dust on the car. Just went out to lunch, so let me wipe it down real quick before we start throwing stuff on it. The car overall turned out pretty cool. I always like the way matte white looks on a car. Let's start mixing some stuff up. I think we're gonna start with I have some fierce pink. Let's start with this. Not sure if I talked about it on my last splatter art video, you know, the Mustang, the first one that was done. If you buy these pick tools from Harbor Freight, they come in handy on a lot of different things. They're pretty cheap. But you can kind of throw this in the top of the can just to press the valve down and then it'll squirt. Put like little squirts of pink on. Let's commence the splattering of Matt's charger. So here we are. We have this awesome Splatter Art Dodge Charger. I'm really happy with how it turned out. There's a lot of different colors. We have yellows and oranges and purples and blues and this fierce pink and some like other pink. Coverage is pretty thorough. We used a can of the fierce pink for a lot of this pink, and then there was another pink that I had mixed up. And there's this purple, which is kind of a darker purple. We had yellow. We had a light blue that was mixed up for a golf that I did for a friend. And we have red. Always a good choice to have red. Like I said, I'm really in a red mood. I love red right now. And then the green that was on the Harlequin. So a lot of these colors we had laying around for a while. The shelf life of Plasti Dip is actually pretty long. You can add a little bit of thinner to Plasti Dip to thin it back out. Anyway, just like when I did the Mustang, there's always these afterthoughts. Like, what could we do to make it just a little bit more? I was thinking like a splatter hash mark kind of thing, but Matt didn't like that idea. I don't blame him because hash marks are kind of overdone. But I had a little bit of yellow on this part of the front lip. I was thinking maybe I should put some there because all the demons have that bumper guard thing. I guess it's supposed to protect the splitter, but everybody leaves it on. So let's put a little bit of splatter on there just to replicate that guard. I know the splitter guard is more of a challenger thing. Apparently you can buy them on eBay. But I keep seeing them on a bunch of different Mopars, so let's mix up some more yellow and we're gonna put that on there. Just a little homage. Just a little tribute to the demon. Awesome. You've been fun, Charger. Let's go untape you. I might throw this on some side. Alright, now we're done. A lot to clean up. We'll get back to that later. Let's give it a couple minutes to dry, and we're gonna untape it. Really happy with how this turned out. Thank you, Matt, for giving me total creative freedom on doing this. Always been nervous to do this for a customer. I've had a couple people in gas station parking lots ask me to do it, but I've never actually done one for a customer. So thank you, Matt, for allowing me to do this. Really appreciate it. Whenever you're done a Plasti Dip job, you want to peel everything while it's wet, but when you do the splatter art kind of thing, you gotta wait for the white to dry or whatever you use as a base. You could use black, you could use green, red, whatever. But anyway, you want to wait for everything to dry and then throw your other colors on top. So the spots that you would normally peel wet when you're dipping a car, usually the tape is going to kind of bond to the dip, and if you peel the tape while it's dry, it's going to peel the dip with it. When you do the splatter art thing and everything's already dry, you're going to have to walk around the car with a knife and just kind of persuade a couple of the spots. It's not a big deal, but it's still something you might want to be aware of. You might want to use an X-Acto knife, something with a sharp blade. You're not going to like cut into your paint or anything. Just be careful, especially if you're doing it for a customer like me. Once we're cleaned up, we're going to do some glamour shots, maybe do some drone footage. So dusty. One thing with white is that the pigment is going to get everywhere because the pigment load in white is pretty dense now. It used to be really thin, but they threw a lot more pigments in there, so as you can see, all my footprints and stuff.